I just want to talk about the background of the movie Joker. I already watched the movie. I think it's best to have some background knowledge before watching it. And we kind of need to understand the Bronx to understand the Gotham City and how it relates to the Joker movie. And first thing I want to do is I'm going to put this in a link in the description. And it's just a video of 1977 World Series in Yankee Stadium. The camera moves out of the stadium and it shows a huge fire that was happening in the Bronx. And we need to understand why there was a fire at the time. So let's talk about Bronx. So Bronx started to degrade in 1960s. I think one of the reasons is the distribution of the car. At the time, Manhattan was a very difficult place to enter, while the distribution of cars was rising. So any places that couldn't be reached easily with cars would actually run out of business. So what they did was they started building highways to enter Manhattan. And at the same time, the Bronx was a place with colored people, which meant they didn't have much voice in the politics. So what the state did was they put this highway to enter Manhattan from Bronx, and this highway just went straight through the Bronx, and it separated the areas, and which separated the neighbors and killed the business. And what it did was it caused the real estate value to fall. And this was a big issue because during this time, typical mid-class white people would actually get loans to buy houses with a garage and a yard. But the agencies that loan out this money would not accept colored people or white people who they thought was mid-class in their definition. So these people couldn't get out of Bronx, and which caused the real estate value to decrease even more. And this cycle just continued. Second reason, I think, was the state budget. The mass production started to take a major part in U.S. economy during this time. But Manhattan could not handle housing these production facilities and factories, so they would actually build factories out of state, which meant the state didn't get much from collecting taxes. And the state budget was running low, and even the president at the time did not help. So the only thing state could do was to cut down the budget, which meant removing police forces and fire stations. That's why it was difficult to control the fires and the crimes. And there's a reason why fire started. And since the real estate value was going down in the Bronx, people with houses, they would actually set their own houses on fire. People would actually set their own house on fire in order to get the insurance money before its value goes down even further. Imagine how you're setting your own house on fire in order to get something out of it. So that's what was going on in the Bronx, and I hope you guys would understand this before watching the Joker movie, because you know, right from the start, you know, they were having a hard time. Everyone was having a hard time. You know, they're talking about things that are crazy here and there, and you know, they don't actually tell us, you know, what's going on. There are scenes where Joker or Arthur, you know, walks up the stairs, this long stairs that, and you guys have to understand. Normally, when you walk up the stairs, or you know, it's it symbolizes your you know, you're moving up. But in this case, it's the opposite, because uh, if you go up the north, if you look at the map, when you go north, you're actually entering Harlem and you're entering the Bronx. When you go south, go down the stairs, you're actually going towards the Rich neighborhood. So I thought that was really interesting how a director portrayed that. Um, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the movie.